1926.1400, Scope to Subpart C. CE Cranes and Derricks in Construction. 1926.1400, A. This standard applies to power-operated equipment, when used in construction, that can hoist, lower and horizontally move a suspended load. Such equipment includes, but is not limited to, articulating cranes, such as knuckle-boom cranes, crawler cranes, floating cranes, cranes on barges, locomotive cranes, mobile cranes, such as wheel-mounted, rough-terrain, all-terrain, commercial truck-mounted, and boom truck cranes, multi-purpose machines when configured to hoist and lower, by means of a winch or hook, and horizontally move a suspended load, industrial cranes, such as carry-deck cranes, dedicated pile drivers, service/mechanic trucks with a hoisting device, a crane on a monorail, tower cranes, such as a fixed jib, i.e., hammerhead boom, luffing boom and self-erecting, pedestal cranes, portal cranes, overhead and gantry cranes, straddle cranes, side boom cranes, derricks, and variations of such equipment. However, items listed in paragraph C of this section are excluded from the scope of this standard. 1926.1400, B. Attachments. This standard applies to equipment included in paragraph A of this section when used with attachments. Such attachments, whether crane attached or suspended, include, but are not limited to, hooks, magnets, grapples, clamshell buckets, orange peel buckets, concrete buckets, drag lines, personnel platforms, augers or drills, and pile driving equipment. 1926.1400, C. Exclusions. This subpart does not cover 1926.1400, C1 through C17, machinery included in paragraph A of this section while it has been converted or adapted for a non-hoisting/lifting use. Such conversions/adaptations include, but are not limited to, power shovels, excavators, and concrete pumps. Power shovels, excavators, wheel loaders, backhoes, loader backhoes, track loaders. This machinery is also excluded when used with chains, slings, or other rigging to lift suspended loads. Automotive wreckers and tow trucks when used to clear wrecks and haul vehicles. Digger derricks when used for augering holes for poles carrying electric or telecommunication lines, placing and removing the poles, and for handling associated materials for installation on, or removal from, the poles, or when used for any other work subject to Subpart V of this part. To be eligible for this exclusion, digger derrick use in work subject to Subpart V of this part must comply with all of the provisions of that subpart, and digger derrick use in construction work for telecommunication service, as defined at section 1910.268, S. 40, must comply with all of the provisions of section 1910.268. Machinery originally designed as vehicle-mounted aerial devices, for lifting personnel, and self-propelled elevating work platforms. Telescopic/hydraulic gantry systems. Stacker cranes. Powered industrial trucks, forklifts, except when configured to hoist and lower, by means of a winch or hook, and horizontally move a suspended load. Mechanic's truck with a hoisting device when used in activities related to equipment maintenance and repair. Machinery that hoists by using a come-along or chainfall. Dedicated drilling rigs. Gin poles when used for the erection of communication towers. Tree trimming and tree removal work. Anchor handling or dredge-related operations with a vessel or barge using an affixed A-frame. Roustabouts. Helicopter cranes. Material delivery. 1926.1400, C17 A through C17, 3. Articulating/knuckle boom truck cranes that deliver material to a construction site when used to transfer materials from the truck crane to the ground, without arranging the materials in a particular sequence for hoisting. Articulating/knuckle boom truck cranes that deliver material to a construction site when the crane is used to transfer building supply sheet goods or building supply packaged materials from the truck crane onto a structure, using a fork/cradle at the end of the boom, but only when the truck crane is equipped with a properly functioning automatic overload prevention device. Such sheet goods or packaged materials include, but are not limited to, sheets of sheetrock, sheets of plywood, bags of cement, sheets or packages of roofing shingles, and rolls of roofing felt. This exclusion does not apply when 1926.1400, C17, 3, A through D, the articulating/knuckle boom crane is used to hold, support or stabilize the material to facilitate a construction activity, such as holding material in place while it is attached to the structure. The material being handled by the articulating/knuckle boom crane is a prefabricated component. Such prefabricated components include, but are not limited to, precast concrete members or panels, roof trusses, wooden, cold-formed metal, steel, or other material, prefabricated building sections such as, but not limited to, floor panels, wall panels, roof structures, or similar items. The material being handled by the crane is a structural steel member, for example, steel joists, beams, columns, steel decking, bundled or unbundled, or a component of a systems-engineered metal building, as defined in 29 CFR 1926 Subpart R. The activity is not specifically excluded under Section 1400, C, 17, I, and 2. 1926.1400, C, 18, flash butt welding trucks. Flash butt welding trucks are other roadway maintenance machines not equipped with any hoisting device other than that used to suspend and move a welding device or work head assembly. For purposes of this paragraph, C, 18, the terms flash butt welding truck and roadway maintenance machine refer to railroad equipment that meets the definition of roadway maintenance machine in 49 CFR 214.7 and is used only for railroad track work. 1926.1400, D. All sections of this subpart CC apply to the equipment covered by this standard unless specified otherwise. 1926.1400, E. The duties of controlling entities under this subpart include, but are not limited to, the duties specified in sections 1926.1402, C, 1926.1402, E, and 1926.1424, B. 1926.1400, F. Where provisions of this standard direct an operator, crew member, or other employee to take certain actions, the employer must establish, effectively communicate to the relevant persons, and enforce work rules to ensure compliance with such provisions. 1926.1400, G. For work covered by Subpart V of this part, compliance with Section 1926.959 is deemed compliance with Sections 1926.1407 through 1926.1411. 1926.1400, H. Section 1926.1402 does not apply to cranes designed for use on railroad tracks. When used on railroad tracks that are part of the general railroad system of transportation that is regulated pursuant to the Federal Railroad Administration under 49 CFR Part 213, and that comply with applicable Federal Railroad Administration requirements. See Section 1926.1402, F.